Ichiro Suzuki was not a baseball player. Ichiro Suzuki is not human. Rather, Ichiro Suzuki is a wizard who got bored one day, descended from Wizardland, and said, hey, let me give baseball a try. The rest is history. Okay, scratch all the weird crap I just said. In reality, Ichiro Suzuki was an incredible athlete with a damn good work ethic and became one of the greatest baseball players who ever lived. This is Box Score Baseball, where we break down MLB players' careers and evaluate their playing ability on the box score scale. On today's episode, I present you with the incredible career of one of baseball's most unique and captivating icons, Ichiro Suzuki. Before we begin, let's start with some background information. Ichiro was born on October 22, 1973 in Nishi-Kasugai-gun, Japan, and was a bit smaller for the average baseball player, standing only 5'11" and weighing about 175 pounds. Before Ichiro debuted in the big leagues, he played 9 seasons in the Japanese Pacific League from 1992 to 2000, before eventually debuting on April 2, 2001 in the major leagues. Ichiro spent the bulk of his MLB career with the Seattle Mariners, whom he debuted with in the 2001 season and played for until 2012, before being traded to the New York Yankees at the trade deadline that year. Ichiro stayed with the Yankees until 2015, when he was eventually signed by the Marlins as a free agent. And in 2018, Ichiro returned to the Mariners for 2 extremely brief stints before retiring at the beginning of the 2019 season. I chose Ichiro for my second analysis for 2 reasons. The first reason being that Ichiro is probably my favorite player to not play for my favorite team. The second reason being that, like Adam Dunn, who I made my first video of, Ichiro is a one-of-a-kind type of player, but for entirely different reasons. It is hard to find stronger polarity between 2 players like Ichiro and Adam Dunn. Dunn was known for his incredible power and his uncanny ability to walk and strike out. Ichiro is known for, well, basically doing the complete opposite of that. See, Ichiro, who was a natural-born righty, was taught by his dad to hit left-handed, the main reason being, I believe, the lefty batter's box is closer to first base than a righty's. If you look at Ichiro's batting stance and swing, he almost ran to first as he swung, and that left-handed hitting paid off, as Ichiro recorded the most infield hits in big league history, the number varying depending on what source you use. And he did this thing between each pitch, which looked cool. Beyond that, Ichiro always hustled regardless of the play, was an incredible defender with a ridiculous throwing arm, never failed to hit, and rarely ever got injured. It's like he was an actual wizard. Due to some agreement with the Japan Pacific League, Ichiro wasn't able to play in the MLB until his age 27 season in 2001. After the Mariners signed him, while he had his supporters, many doubted Ichiro's adaptation to a completely new league, believing the MLB would be an abrupt change for him, which it certainly would be. In his rookie season, Ichiro only tied for the league highest average with Larry Walker, and he led the league in hits with 242, which was the 9th most in a single season at that time, and he led the league in stolen bases, and won AL Rookie of the Year, and won the AL MVP, and he won a Gold Glove, and also a Silver Slugger. He also played in his first All-Star game, and the Mariners won 116 games in 2001, which is still a record to this day. Well, shit. So much for adapting. This next stat I find crazy. In his first 10 big league seasons, the least amount of hits Ichiro had in one season was 206. Do you know how many Hall of Famers never even had one 200-hit season ever? 206 would be a career high for some, and that was Ichiro's least in his first 10 seasons. His 10 200-hit seasons are tied for the most in baseball history with Pete Rose, and he is the only player in history to ever have 10 consecutive seasons with 200-plus hits. I also don't know if any other leadoff hitter ever led their league in intentional walks like Ichiro did 3 times. Ichiro also had 4 seasons where he hit above 350, and finished his career with 3,089 hits, which is 23rd all-time. If all those hitting stats weren't enough, here's some more. Ichiro led the league in hits 7 times in his career, and in 2004, Ichiro broke George Sisler's 84-year-old record of 257 hits in a single season, finishing the year with 262 hits, a record which may never be broken again. Suzuki also won the batting title twice in his career, as well as winning 3 Silver Sluggers. Ironically, he didn't win the Silver Slugger in 2004 despite setting the single-season hit record and leading the league with a 372 batting average. Ichiro also ranked 6th all-time in singles, as 81.3% of his big league hits were singles. He also appears 3 times out of the top 20 most hits in a single season, and twice in the top 10. This chart you see here is the current all-time hit leaderboard in MLB history, with Pete Rose in first with 4,256 career hits, and Ichiro 23rd with 3,089. Remember though, Ichiro made his MLB debut at age 27, way later than most All-Stars make their debut. Just for fun, I've made a few estimates where Ichiro could have finished all-time in hits had he debuted earlier. This chart right here displays if Ichiro debuted at age 24, which is still relatively late for an all-star or big leaguer, and tallied 175 hits each year in those 4 years. Add a total of 700 hits to his career total of 3,089, and Ichiro jumps from 23rd to 3rd all-time in hits with 3,789. Now let's say Ichiro debuted at age 21 and got 180 hits each season for all 6 years. Ichiro would still be 3rd all-time, but would be within 22 hits of Ty Cobb for 2nd all-time. But remember, Ichiro never had below 200 hits in his first 10 big league seasons. Just for fun, let's say Ichiro got exactly 200 hits in his first 6 seasons in the big leagues, still debuting at age 21, plus his actual career total of 3,089. Ichiro then surpasses Pete Rose for number 1 all-time in hits with 4,289. I'm not saying this would definitely happen, but I'd be surprised if Ichiro didn't finish at least top 3 in hits had he made his big league debut sooner. And just for one more projection, if you include Ichiro's NPB stats with his MLB stats, he has a career total of 4,367 hits, which would give him the all-time crown. An NPB season is only 143 games as well, which is 19 shorter than a full MLB season, potentially allowing Ichiro to have even more hits if the seasons were equal lengths. Obviously you can debate this, but on the MLB leaderboards, Pete Rose is first all-time. This is not meant to discredit Rose, Ichiro, or any other player. All of them are incredible athletes, and these projections are just for simple fun. And just once more to show you how good this man was at hitting, the table on the left displays every 200 hit season of the past decade from 2010 to 2019. In this span, there were 23 200 hit seasons, 22 not including Ichiro's 214 hits in 2010. Of those 22, only 2 players, D. Gordon and Jose Altuve, had more than one 200 hit season, and only Altuve, whose legitimacy is heavily debatable now, had consecutive 200 hit seasons, which he had 4, which is still less than half of Ichiro's 10 in a row. And of these 22 200 hit seasons, 12, or 54.5% of the 22, had less than or equal to Ichiro's lowest number of hits of 206 in his 10-year streak. That's pretty damn incredible if you ask me. As with any of Ichiro's stats, they never fail to surprise you. One of the most notable of these oddities is the lack of doubles Ichiro hit. While he tallied 362 doubles, and despite his tremendous speed, Ichiro wasn't a huge doubles hitter, the most he ever hit in a single season being 34 in 2001, and he only averaged 22 in a 162 game span. If you couldn't tell by now, Ichiro liked to put the ball in play, as he didn't walk nor strike out much. Ichiro averaged only 40 walks and an impressive 66 strikeouts per 162 games, the most walks he ever drew in a season being 68 in 2002, and striking out 86 times as a high in 2010. This next bit I find amusing. From various comment sections and videos and many articles you can find online, Ichiro's teammates and opponents quickly noticed his ability to hit absolute nukes in batting practice, many believing he could have been a power hitter and having potential to compete in a home run derby. However, Ichiro, quote, chose not to be a power hitter, as he only hit 117 home runs in his career and averaged only 7 in a full season. I swear to you I am not making this up, and after seeing everything that Ichiro can do, this honestly doesn't surprise me at all. In terms of defense, Ichiro excelled at that too. If you haven't seen it already, Ichiro's missile from right field to throw Terrence Long at third in Oakland is one of the most memorable plays in baseball history. You know you're good when people remember you for a throw. Besides his tremendous throwing arm, Ichiro had swift speed and agility, frequently robbing home runs and making jaw-dropping plays in the outfield. To no surprise, Ichiro finished top 5 in right field or center field assists 8 times in his career, as well as leading his respective position and fielding percentage 5 times. To top it off, these abilities culminated into 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. Building off Ichiro's ridiculous throwing arm, he pitched once in his big league career on the final game of the 2015 season. At age 41, Ichiro nearly hit 90 on his fastball, allowing 2 hits and 1 earned run in 1 inning pitched against the Phillies. Oddly enough, I actually had the privilege of being at this game in person. At first, I thought it was possibly a friendly retirement gesture by Marlins manager Mike Redmond, but Ichiro continued to play until 2019. Still an awesome sight to see, though. As mentioned throughout the video, Ichiro's speed made him just as much a threat on the base paths as it did in the outfield, averaging 31 stolen bases in a full season. Ichiro had 12 seasons of 25-plus stolen bases, 5 seasons of 40-plus stolen bases, and even led the league with 56 in 2001. Suzuki finished his career with 509 stolen bases, and his base stealing proved helpful for his teammates as he had 8 seasons with 100 or more runs. And just for a random fun fact, Ichiro hit an inside-the-park home run in the 2007 All-Star Game, winning All-Star MVP that year. Unfortunately, Ichiro made the playoffs twice in his 19-year career, once with the Mariners in 2001 and again with the Yankees in 2012, In 19 career playoff games, Ichiro was a .346 hitter, had 27 hits, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. Ichiro's final career line consisted of a .311 batting average, 117 home runs, 780 RBIs, 1,420 runs, 3,089 hits, 509 stolen bases, a .311 average, a .355 on-base percentage, a .402 slugging percentage, a .757 OPS, culminating to a 59.7 wins above replacement. And his 162-game average obtained via BaseballReference.com was a .311 average, 189 hits, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, 31 stolen bases, 40 walks, and 66 strikeouts. There's honestly not much to dislike here, as Ichiro's offensive numbers are stellar, as it's hard to argue with a .311 average, 31 stolen bases, nearly 200 hits, and only 66 strikeouts per full season. Yeah, you could say Ichiro's power numbers are low with only 7 bombs a year and a .757 OPS. However, Ichiro epitomized the perfect leadoff hitter, one who can hit for a high average, be a threat on the base pads, score nearly 100 runs per season, which he averaged 87, hit the occasional home run if need be, and Ichiro did just that. Now that we've evaluated Ichiro's historical career and notable achievements, it's time to see where he falls in the box score scale. Starting with contact, Ichiro is the single-season hit king, is in the 3,000 hit club, led the league in hits 7 times, hit over 354 times, and is the only player ever to have 10 consecutive 200 hit seasons. If he could, Ichiro would earn an 11 in this category, as he may be the best pure contact hitter in baseball history alongside Ty Cobb and Tony Gwynn. To no surprise, he earns a 10 out of 10. Power was Ichiro's only weak suit. Though he did 117 home runs in his career and reportedly hit bombs in batting practice, he only averaged 7 home runs in the full season, and his career high is only 15. For those reasons, I can't give him higher than a 3 out of 10. Ichiro excelled at defense as much as he excelled at hitting, as he finished top 5 in outfield assists and fielding percentage multiple times, won 10 gold gloves, and is one of the greatest defensive outfielders of all time. Once again, he earns a 10 out of 10. In terms of speed, Ichiro was also insanely fast. His 509 stolen bases is tied for 35th all time. He led the league in stolen bases once, and had 7 seasons with 35 plus stolen bases. You could debate this, but I gave him a 9 out of 10 solely because he isn't amongst the likes of Henderson, Brock, and Hamilton. And as far as awards go, Ichiro won AL Rookie of the Year, AL MVP, is in the 3,000 hit club, holds the record for most hits in a single season, is in the 500 stolen base club, is a 10-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove winner, a 3-time Silver Slugger, a 2-time batting champion, won the 2007 All-Star Game MVP, and is a future Hall of Famer, easily earning him a 10 out of 10. Add it all together, you get a grand total of 42 out of 50, divided by 5 categories is 8.40. For those of you who don't know, Ichiro wore the number 51 while he played for the Mariners. When the Mariners first signed Ichiro, he wrote a letter to a former Mariners All-Star who also donned the number 51 as a member of Seattle's team. You may have heard of him, just some pitcher by the name of Randy Johnson. In the letter to Johnson, Ichiro promised not to bring shame to the number 51, and sure enough, he stayed true to his word. Since the Mariners haven't retired neither Johnson nor Suzuki's 51 yet, maybe they should pass it on to their next big star. You never know what could happen. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a suggestion for a player you want me to analyze in the future, feel free to let me know in the comments below. My only request being that the player has retired. If you loved the vid, hit the like button, or if you thought it sucked, give it a thumbs down. I've linked a bunch of Ichiro's highlights below, like his record-breaking hit in his showdown versus Mariano Rivera if you want to go check him out. All stats in this video are obtained from BaseballReference and MLB.com, and stay tuned for more analyses in store. Thanks for watching.